Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today, Sarah Callard from the Friends of the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater is joining us for an update on how their season's going so far and a preview of things to come for the rest of the year. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, the hazy, hot, humid conditions continue with a heat advisory that remains in effect through 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Because of the accommodation of heat and humidity, it's already 87 degrees in Quincy right now, with a high about 90 later this afternoon. Slight chance for a shower or pop-up thunderstorm later today. A very uncomfortable night again tonight. Lows only in the mid-70s with a chance for some late-night storms. And the first weekend of August, well, it's going to feel like it for sure. More clouds than sun tomorrow. A possible shower. Still very warm and humid. The high right around 90 degrees. A little cooler on Sunday. A better chance for scattered storms Sunday afternoon with highs into the muggy mid-80s and right back into the hot stuff again on Monday. Hot and humid. The high of 91 degrees. Should get some relief around here by Tuesday. But until then, the heat is on. 87 degrees in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today with the impending shutdown of the MBTA's Red Line next month. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says he supports the T's decision because it will help expedite critical work that will greatly improve the system.
You know, the original shutdown was going to be a little shorter, and we had chatted about it, him extending it a little bit to do the work so that we can bring the track ability up to take trains going at a faster speed. So while you're shutting down, why not shut down a few more days to get it right? So I support the decision to do that with the diversion, with buses and all. It's the only way to get it done in a timely fashion. You know, the old days of T, what they would do, they would shut down at night, and they'd shut down, and the T would shut down the actual Red Line at 1 in the morning. So it opens up again first thing at sunrise. Yep. So by the time you set up and the breakdown time, you're getting very little work done in a couple of hours.
Right.
So it's not efficient. It's very expensive, and I think it's more frustrating for people. So, you know, we saw what would happen with the Wollaston station. The city supported the shutdown of the station to get it done far more quickly than it would have been had you tried to keep the station open and doing the construction at the same time.
Now, the Red Line will shut down between JFK, UMass, and Braintree from September 6th through the 29th to allow for work on 18 miles of track. The T says the project will eliminate 20 slow zones along the Red Line and reduce travel time by at least 24 minutes. Buses will be replacing trains during that shutdown. A man has been charged with breaking into a Quincy business early Tuesday morning. Police say 42-year-old Michael Reardon broke into the Enterprise Rental Car Agency on Adams Street just before 2 a.m. on Tuesday and then ransacked several cars in the parking lot. Police responding to the alarm reportedly found Reardon in one of those vehicles. Video surveillance reportedly shows Reardon break into the building through a window, then break into several cars. He was arraigned in Quincy District Court on breaking and entering and larceny charges. Police say Reardon lives at a Boston homeless shelter. 16 Quincy fifth graders now have a better understanding of what it takes to be a firefighter. The students recently participated in the Quincy Fire Department's Firefighter for a Day events held at their training facility at the former St. Mary's School in West Quincy. The students were winners in an essay contest where they had to describe why they wanted to be a firefighter. The two-day program includes some classroom instruction on basic CPR and then a hands-on training event. Quincy Fire Lieutenant Cody Daniels says this was a first for the Quincy Fire Department.
This is one of the bigger community outreach things that we've done since I've been on the department that I can recall in terms of trying to reach a targeted age group to bring something life safety to them, which is the goal of making sure everybody's safe and aware. So this is just a two-day program right now. This is the initial one. A lot of the kids afterwards said that they would like this to be a week long, and we would like to be able to give more towards that, and we appreciate all the effort that they put in throughout this class. This program was free. I would like to say it will continue to be free. You know, there was a lot of people that helped out between the training department, fire prevention, D'Olimpio fire extinguishers provided all the extinguishers for free. Papagino's helped making sure that we had the pizzas here for lunch for the kids on time. Home Depot helped by providing some gloves for us so the kids had their hands protected during any actual hands-on activities. And throughout the event, we just constantly made sure that safety was paramount.
That program was held over 2 days in July. Around 200 local veterans with disabilities were treated to a day of fishing and boating off of Howes Neck in Quincy recently during the 66th annual Harvey's Saltwater Fishing Club Veterans Fishing Trip. More than 100 volunteers came out to the Quincy Yacht Club to support the annual outing, including 20 vessels ranging from lobster boats to harbor cruise boats. All the supplies are donated or paid through fundraising, including a catered dinner at the end of the event. Veterans and the volunteers say they look forward to this event months in advance, as for many veterans, it is the only recreational and social activity that they participate in during the year. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, an update from the Friends of the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater. That's next. Welcome back. The Friends of the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater are busy putting their summer programs together on Friday nights up at the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater. They've had, 4 already and more to come. So Sarah Callard from the Friends is here to tell us how's it been going and what's coming up. Good to see you, Sarah.
Good to see you, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Happy summer.
Yes, it's been a hot one.
Indeed.
Very hot.
Yeah.
But I just have to say that something about the magic of the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater when you're up there in the evening. Don't be deterred by the heat, because you get up there and there's just this lovely breeze.
Yes.
It's mostly in shade due to those lovely old trees,
Yep.
and it's set down into the ground, and there's the water, and so we often just kind of joke about
You
that.
marvel
Because
about
it's like
it,
you could
yeah.
be sweltering hot in your house, and you come out to the show, and you're just like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's it's a little bit elevated, so you've got that going. There is always a breeze up there, regardless.
Yeah,
And if
we're very lucky.
if you're not, running around being super physical, you're going to be very comfortable, actually.
Right.
To have a nice summer evening out.
Yeah, and it's good for the musicians. They're not in the sun is not usually
Blazing sun.
beating down on them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. No, it's true. And if folks haven't been up there lately, like in the past, 9-10 months or so,
Right.
it's a completely different atmosphere. The
Yeah.
whole pageant field experience
It's
is
gorgeous.
different.
Yeah. I love going there.
Yeah.
Take my
How about the
time out.
amphitheater itself? Has that also seen some improvements?
Well, I just got out of a meeting with Dave Murphy, actually, in our architectural volunteer team, and we're excited to be working, with him on that community preservation fund, which came through for the city for $100,000. So
Excellent.
we have a number of priorities that we're looking at there that will really give the amphitheater the much needed TLC that it needs.
Yeah.
I probably notice these things more than other people.
Probably, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But if you look at the wall, it's been patchworked in over the years with different mortars and different colors. So and so it has a little bit of algae growing. I mean, after 40 years, what do you expect?
we all have a little bit growing on us after 40 years.
Exactly.
So a little cleanup it needs.
So there's going to be some cleanup and also some work towards the accessibility.
Yeah, I know that's a big concern. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have some new additions to our volunteer architectural team.
Excellent.
Kenneth Lewandowski joined us, and he's just a very talented, experienced architect. So he's working with Michelle Lederer and Bruce Callard, two other very talented architects, and they're just looking at some schematic options that can be considered when we get there.
For accessibility.
For accessibility, yeah. For ramps that would be tastefully done, that would be not that would go with the landscape, would incorporate the nature, would avoid the trees if possible.
Yes.
At all costs.
Yeah.
Because those trees up there are old and lovely, and it's part of the vibe.
Sure.
We've struggled with this problem for quite some time, just because we don't want to do anything that's going to destroy, the beauty.
Yep, I understand. The top tier of the amphitheater is accessible,
It
right?
is, yeah.
So you do have that going for
And
you right
often,
now.
most people actually consider that the best seat in the house is right at the top. That's where Break Rock is set up our partners, Break Rock Brewery. We're always so grateful for them. So they're set up there, and also we usually have Black's Creek Barbecue. They're fabulous. Sometimes we have some other food vendors as
Nice.
well, and
Yeah.
so they're all at the top, and people love to sort of congregate up there while watching the show. But you know, I love sitting down in the theater myself because the acoustics are just phenomenal.
It's an amphitheater, right? That's what it was designed to do, right?
Yeah.
And it's an intimate experience with the performer, the closer you are.
It is, yeah.
I mean, really, from the front row to the stage is 10 feet.
Right,
You know,
right.
So you're right there.
Yeah, so I am excited for us to get accessibility down to
Right.
the stage,
Yep.
and hopefully
It'll be a different experience for those folks.
Yeah,
that they
people,
haven't-
you know, some folks in wheelchairs or you know, otherwise with a walker or whatever can sit. You can even sit in the front area.
Yep.
That's what I'm envisioning, is get them right down front. You know.
Absolutely, yeah.
They did that at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, and it's wonderful.
It may also open up opportunities for disabled performers.
Exactly.
As well, you know.
Exactly. You want to have that full access for all.
Sure.
And also, you know, the bands, it's good for them. They don't have to navigate the terrain.
The steps, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you had a kickoff on June 28th, actually, for the Neil
Yeah.
Vitullo Band. Then it was Divas with a Twist, Ladies of Blues and Soul, the Athalia Theater Troupe, right?
Yes,
With the
yes.
abridged Shakespeare performance.
Yeah.
And tonight, it's the big one.
Yes.
One of the big ones.
Yep, Studio 2 Beatles. We're so excited.
Yeah.
So last year, if you missed them last year, come on out tonight, because they were, I mean, one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Wow. Really?
So really, it is worth coming out to see them. They are just amazing, and everybody says that. I mean, they're the #1 Beatles tribute band in New England, and
Wow.
there are a lot of Beatles tribute bands. So that says something, and they're also the #1 tribute band in general in New Hampshire, which is their hometown.
Oh, wow.
So they are, you know, Berkeley trained guys,
Okay.
as so many of our performers are.
Yes,
I've,
yeah.
I've gained a tremendous respect for Berkeley School of Music, because so many, I mean, the people that come out of there, like Matt Jensen from the Combo Sabroso Latin and Reggae band, he teaches at Berkeley,
Wow.
I just discovered.
Wow.
And my God, he was amazing.
Really, really. So really high
Yeah.
caliber of folks that are performing
Yes.
for free
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're not performing for free, but it is free to the
for the general public.
Yes.
Yes, right. No, I understand you're
Yes.
being supported by grants to bring these folks in.
We are. We are being.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate the city's support.
Yes, yeah.
They have had to make some budget cuts, as everybody knows. You know, due to circumstances.
Yeah.
Some kind of hit me a little bit suddenly, because
that
it's
right?
midstream. Well, you know, we've already programmed, and to find out that some of those funds are being cut, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So, but you know, the show must go on, and it must go on well.
Right,
And
right,
so
right,
we're going full steam ahead, and we'll just. But we're seeking sponsorships. If anyone's interested in a sponsorship, I'm out. Seeking
Okay.
those for this season and next.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah. And for our movie nights.
And for your movie nights too, right? And
Right,
of course.
so-
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, the movie nights is part of what was, unfortunately, cut.
That's too bad.
So,
Yeah.
but really, I think that we can pull it off if
Oh.
at least one or two movie nights, if we can get a sponsorship or some donations. So please,
Okay.
if you're interested, if you have a company that's interested in giving us a donation and would like some promotion
Mm-hmm.
in exchange for that, you can visit our website, friendsofrga.org,
Okay.
and there's a donation button there.
Okay.
And you can also just reach out to me at info@friendsofrga.org,
Okay.
and that's the email that I'll respond to.
Okay. When are the movie nights, Sarah? When are those scheduled to take
Those
place?
were tentatively scheduled on Saturday nights in August.
Okay.
And as I said, we were looking at 4 nights, but it would definitely be more like 2 nights
Okay.
that I'm hoping we can pull off.
Okay.
So if we can get some wonderful people out there to donate or sponsor,
Yeah.
we could pull that off.
How much would it cost, do you think?
Well, it depends on how you do it. Last year, we went to a vendor that comes in, brings the movie screen. I mean, the beauty of that is that they run the whole thing,
Yes.
and it's just perfect.
Yep.
if you go that route, it is, approximately like $800
Okay.
for a night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if there are other options, which is you buy the equipment yourself. It's
see.
actually less costly, in the long run, much
Right.
less costly. It's actually not that expensive.
Right, but you'll need folks
But
to
we
run it, right?
need
Yeah.
some
Some
volunteers.
volunteers,
And
yeah.
the city has very nicely said that they will support us. And they're great. I mean, I can't say enough about the Parks and Recreation team.
That's
I mean,
good.
they're just great. Paul Doherty's been wonderful to work with. Dave Murphy's been wonderful to work with. And their team of their staff
Mm-hmm.
are really just like terrific. I mean, they
Top-notch.
show up
That's
to all
great.
these events and they help musicians carry gear and they, they
Wow,
clean
okay,
up and
yeah.
so we're very grateful. But we are just kind of hoping that we can get better funding in the
Sure.
next year for the get back to where we were.
Yeah.
Because right now we're looking at $4,000 less than
okay.
last year's. If we can get back to where we were, that will be fabulous.
Okay. Well, put it out there and see what comes back.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah.
But the scheduled performances are still on, right?
Oh,
The
absolutely.
Friday nights.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the Beatles tonight, Studio 2.
Yeah.
And by the way, that from last year's performance is the #1 watched video on our YouTube channel.
That's incredible.
Like by thousands.
That's incredible.
by far
Wow.
the most. Yeah.
And that video, I have a clip of that video on
Yeah.
our website. It was actually taken by Helene Sansucci, who's one of our earliest volunteers and really a marketing guru. But she took this video when the lights were down
Yes.
and all the candles were lit,
Yes.
and they had the lighting from our sound guy, Austin Sound, Jim. And she just went around in a circle and it captured everybody singing along with
Yeah.
the band and this wonderful lighting, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it gives me chills.
Well, it's funny. It's so funny. The Beatles music transcends generations.
It does. It does.
Today's teenagers love it as much as you and I do. you
Yeah,
know?
it's like it's
Yeah.
vintage, classic. Yeah.
It's just good music. It's just good music.
Yeah.
The 9th is the Fat City Band,
Yes.
the Dandy Gallagher Band on the 16th, and then Jesse Ahern on the 23rd.
Yes, and I mean those are all like incredible. Oh, I have it right here. I can
Yes.
see. That's so nice.
We've got you covered. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are super excited for all of those, and we don't want to forget also that right after Fat City on the 11th
Yep.
is our Friends Rock Music Festival.
Yes.
That's on a Sunday.
Yes, this is a big deal.
So it is. That is a big deal, and so are these other upcoming performers.
But you see there on the 11th from 2 to 8 p.m. So this is an all-day music festival that'll be taking place, right?
Yes.
Did you do this last year too?
No.
No. Okay, this is something new. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, I just wanted to say, about Fat City Band. That is going to be a real wonderful show as
Oh, okay.
well.
All right.
I'll just get back to you on the music festival because I have a lot to say about that. But the
Okay.
Fat City Band, I just brought up my notes on them. So Kevin Coughlin is going to be the MC for the night.
Former Ward 3 counselor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's been a great support. But Fat City was recently inducted into the New England Music Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So they're a highly respected, nationally recognized blues band, and they never disappoint. So they perform blues, roadhouse rock, jazz, and New Orleans style R&B. So those who like, for example, the blues bands that we've had, like Roomful of Blues and, Rocky Thomas and some of them, you're going to really love Fat City.
Okay. All right. And again, that's a week from
Yeah.
tonight on the 9th.
Yeah.
And then that Sunday actually is the.
And that Sunday is the
festival.
music festival.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the Friends Rock Music Festival is big because this is something that essentially, because we're getting in demand now
Yep.
as a venue, which is wonderful because
Yep.
people are just like, oh wow, this
That's-
is. I mean, a lot of the musicians who play there are just like, this is great.
That's the ideal situation. They reach out to you, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's
Yeah.
happening, and that was happening, this season, and so it was in some ways easier to book, in some ways harder because you have to be more selective.
Well,
You have to be like,
We don't have room. I'm sorry. Yeah, you hate to turn people away, but yeah, right.
But you always have to think of the best for the community and for the amphitheater. You can't, you have to. And so what ended up happening is that we didn't have enough room in there for the community bands, the local bands,
Yeah.
the local music scene that I really wanted to include. And things got booked up so quickly, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't forget about these guys, you know? So that's why the Friends Rock Music Festival,
Okay.
that's where that was born. I was like,
Ah.
what if we did this? We could
Just do
feature
a
all of these
day-long
bands.
festival. Yeah.
So
There's
from
12 different performers.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be actually technically, I think 11 because
Okay.
one of them did have a family emergency
Oh, I see. Okay.
situation.
Still.
So we have, but yeah, we have 11 bands. It's going to run from 2 to 8:30. We're revised it to 8:30 because,
Nonstop? Just nonstop?
well, yeah, 5-minute transitions in between. It's
Wow.
all going to be on the amphitheater stage.
Yeah.
And I just sent out a huge email of all the logistics last night for that. But it's, you know, I'm excited for it. I mean, we have Monk Duane, who is a 2-time R&B New England Music Award winner, headlining. And also headlining, I kind of consider our 2 headliners, Monk Duane and The Freight. So I think a lot of viewers will be familiar with The Freight as well as Monk Duane. The Freight are just a very popular local band.
Is that right?
Big following, yeah, and just really, they're doing amazing stuff. So, and Monk Duane is also being nominated for Songwriter of the Year this year as well.
Wow.
He does a lot of songwriting and does songwriting in the film industry as well, which is quite impressive.
Yes.
And these are, you know, our local people that we want to support, and that's what I really love about this festival, is that unlike some of the other bigger festivals that have come into town, you know, we've heard complaints like, oh, I can't even afford it, I can't get a ticket, it's too expensive, you know? This is accessible. It's like, and that's important in a community. It's kind of like arts has to be fostered from the ground up. It has to be nurtured like a plant, you know?
Right, right.
And so some of those kids that are sitting there in the audience watching, you know, these bands are someday going to be, you know, on the stage.
Yeah. Right in their hometown if they're from Quincy.
Right.
Exactly, yeah. And that was the vision for the amphitheater, you know, back in 1984, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
Ruth Gordon
right.
herself would advocate for that, I'm sure.
Yes, yes. And, you know, Mayor Joe Larea, that was his vision was, you know, of those kind of community, everyone brings a lawn chair and
Right.
everyone comes together and
Right.
it's like a free community thing. And then my father helped to provide the vision of like the where, you know, the physical manifestation
the
of
design
that.
of it, right, yeah.
As more of a, you know, is also like encompassing that theater aspect, which we saw with the play. I mean, so many people were like, oh, we love that we're seeing a play here,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not just all like music shows, but it's also, you know, being used as a theater.
How amphitheaters were originally used,
Yes.
right, in the era of Shakespeare, right?
Right.
And live theater, yeah.
And director Ann Danby, who was on your show with me
Yes.
last time. I mean,
Yes.
she's like amazing, just amazingly smart, creative person that I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for. So
And I-
she did a great job. I
Yeah,
mean,
and I don't know of any other venues like that with, you know, live theater, outdoor live theater in our
know.
area.
I
know there
know,
are some in
that's
the western
right.
part of the state, but
Yeah.
around here, not so much, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are so many people reached out and said, "Oh, we have a Shakespeare in the Park thing here in Minnesota that we absolutely love." You
right,
know?
right.
Like, we're sort of striving for that. So,
okay.
So this year we did the complete works of Shakespeare abridged, which was really, really
3
wonderful.
performances, actually.
3 performances.
Yeah, that's a lot
that
of
was
work.
a lot. Yeah. So I think we got, you know, all together somewhere around like 400 people.
That's excellent.
And that's good because when you look at like small community theaters,
Yeah.
what they hold and their capacity, I mean that pretty much that's right up there
That's
with
absolutely
the
true.
numbers when you add it all up. So, so it's great. It was just wonderful. The cast were hysterically funny.
Yeah.
And
Some of them I know with Broadway connections, too. It was top quality talent.
yes,
Yeah.
top quality talent.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're very grateful to them. They did an amazing, fabulous job.
Yes, yes. So so August 23rd is the final performance.
Yes,
for this
Jesse.
year.
So Jesse Ahern.
Yep.
Yeah, we're so excited about Jesse coming. In fact, I saw there's an article, a really impressive article written about Jesse Ahern.
We got about a minute left, but
Oh, sorry.
that's okay.
Anyway, he's just returned from his solo tour of Europe.
Wow.
And before that was opening for the Dropkick Murphys all across
Really?
Europe.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
this guy is a big talent, and you don't want to miss this.
Wow.
You know.
I'm sure you're thinking ahead to next year already.
Right.
So if folks have thoughts or
are.
suggestions, right on your website is a good place to go? Or
Yes, reach
social
out.
media too?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Joe.
it's so great to
for-
talk to you, Sarah.
Thank you. It's
And-
great to talk to you. Thanks
Yeah.
for the opportunity.
It's our pleasure
Spread
to
the word.
put a spotlight. Folks should stay tuned to QATV throughout the summer because we've been able to tape a lot of the performances, including tonight's. And you'll
Yes.
see it on our channel and on our social media throughout the summertime as well.
And that's so awesome for accessibility as well.
Yes.
So those who can't make the show can see it at home.
Right. We're happy to do it.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Forecast for the rest of the day today, kind of what you see is what you get. It is summertime in a big way with Triple H weather, maybe a pop-up shower or storm this afternoon, and a high, 90 degrees. You see it right there. Mid-70s tonight, and really stays kind of sticky right through the first weekend of August now, believe it or not. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, a spot shower possible, not likely, with a high around 90 degrees. Better chance for storms Sunday afternoon in the mid-80s, and still hot and humid here on Monday. It should stay dry at least. Monday's high, 91 degrees. Thanks again to Sarah Callard for joining us, Friends of the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Speaking of Monday, here in the show, Philip Chong from Quincy Asian Resources stopping by with all the details about this year's August Moon Festival in Quincy. Meantime, check our website anytime. It's qatv.org. You will find all of our latest programs. There's news, information, video on demand, live streaming, and more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.